Hey lovelies, I'm Pilin Anice, Ailey Extension instructor, Mirror trainer, and Lululemon ambassador. So excited to be here with Well+Good Trainer of the Month Club for a fun, playful flow called Hip Hip Hooray. We're gonna have some fun together, really quick. Let's do it. All right, friends, as we get started, make sure you have any props that you like to use to support you in practice. We're gonna begin in cat-cow, so finding some breaths here as we find our wrists in line with shoulders, spreading those fingers nice and wide. Hips are in line with the knees. Let's take a deep breath in, allow this cow pose to emerge as the tailbone reaches and the heart extends upward, full breath. And then exhale, gently round the spine, pull your belly button in and up, press the earth away from you. Take that a few more times. And we're using this cat-cow to start to sink us into this flow of breath, beginning to harness the energy of the breath, encouraging movement into our bodies. It's gonna trickle down to our hips in just a moment. Take another breath in, extending up through your heart, and then round that spine. And then as you level out, find your neutral spine and start to invite movement to flow into your hips. So you can imagine here that you are creating this big swirling spiral in space. It might be nice to close the eyes, feeling into these circles, allowing them to evolve with your breath. And there's no right or wrong. So as we're moving our hips, my friends, the rule is no judgment, right? We're just here practicing self-acceptance and awareness. And this might be fast, it might be slow. So find a speed that feels good. Give yourself permission to pause any place that feels sticky. And then let's gently reverse, go the opposite direction. When I say you might hear your body's percussion, a little snap crackle, it's all good. That's the synovial fluid starting to move, so we're hydrating our hips. Few more breaths. Slow it down, speed it up. Let this be an exploration. And then we'll allow these hip circles to morph into a downward dog at your own pace. So you might linger forward toward an upward dog and then flip those toes, allowing the hips to reach upwards towards the sky. Take a breath in here, firmly planting through your palms, lifting through belly and lengthening through your spine. Take your gaze to the top of the mat. Let's step those feet right and left, taking a fold, breathing in to allow the arms to sweep overhead. Big exhale, we're gonna find cactus arms here. So elbows are gonna come down towards the shoulders, towards the rib cage, and we'll press our hips forward as we lift our heart. Stretch the arms up, inhaling, and then exhale, fold. Lifting up halfway, folding forward, plant the palms, step back. We're gonna find hands and knees, so tabletop once again. Knees come down to the earth, and we'll invite our right leg to reach up. So we're gonna keep that leg folded in half here and start to trace those big circles now with the knee. So this is our hip joint again, getting lubricated. So I like to think of this as like the oil can, right? So for these happy hips, we've got to make sure things are moving and flowing. You might notice a little heat start to build. It's all good. Stay with your breath. Keep pressing the earth away. Go ahead and reverse, go the opposite direction. Again, exploring, slowing down, speeding up. And the next time that leg sweeps back behind, keep the thigh bone parallel to the earth, press the earth away, and we're gonna bring that right foot forward to the pinky side of the right hand, so towards the edge of your mat. Coming into lizard. You can adjust the back leg as needed so that you sink forward, releasing your hips, and maybe a little rock would feel good here. Bringing in a little motion to encourage opening and freedom. Settle into stillness, and as we pause, plant those palms and really hug your right inner thigh in towards your right arm bone. So you feel the arm bone pressing into the arm and the thigh bone pressing into the arm as well. So they're pressing into each other. Lifting out of your low back. Can you feel that hip flex or fire up? Yes. So we're not just opening, but we're also strengthening. All the magic today, friends. One more breath. And then exhale, go ahead and bring that right hand on the outside. We're going to bring the right foot back in towards center. So think in towards the midline. Curl your back toes under. Lift up through your left leg. And then we're going to spin that back heel down and we're going to open out toward a goddess position. So you can dial your toes out to a degree that feels good. So heels are in, toes are out. And we'll lift our chest, allowing those shoulders to come to rest over the hips. And we're in a goddess pose. Now check in. See if you can drop a little bit deeper. Check in with your knees. See what feels good. So here's we find this position, my friend. Soften your shoulders and we're going to find a little freedom, a little fun. Hands either at hips or out to the side for a little more heat. We're going to start to invite those circles again here. That's good. Hopefully you've got a nice playlist on. You can catch a little rhythm as your hips start to move and flow. And you can see I'm starting nice and wide, but there's always opportunity to tighten them up, take them a little faster. Let that energy from the hips start to trickle up through your shoulders, through your spine, your head. This is where you have freedom. This is where you have fun. And it's okay to smile. Take a breath in. Go ahead and reverse, go the opposite direction. Keep your belly nice and tight. Stirring things up. Gorgeous. Let's pause back here through center. Inhale, sink nice and low. Oh, the heat's building. Let those arms come overhead. And then cactus your arms. Elbows come down. Breathing in, stretch up. Exhale, cactus the arms. One more. Breathing in. Cactus those arms. This time we'll stretch up and we're going to move it towards the front of the mat. So we'll let those arms cartwheel down, spin on that left heel to the ball of the foot, the heel lifts, and then we square off back into a lunge with the right foot forward. Inhale to lift through your heart, and then exhale, soften through your left knee. We're going to step our left foot forward. As you lift your chest, let your arms sweep overhead. Hands are going to find the heart center, and we're going to invite that left leg to lift. So finding a little balance, tone through your center. Figure 4. Take your left ankle and place it over your right thigh. Find a drishti, a place to focus your eye gaze. As you begin to bend your right knee, feel your hips draw back. Oh, lovely opening right here in that hip. Now, maybe you keep the hands at prayer. Maybe you bring the hands to the top of your left inner thigh or shin. Gently guiding the left knee down as your hips draw back, toning through your belly. If you really want to play with balance as you root down through your right foot, maybe you extend your arms alongside the ears. And if you fall out, you just begin again. Keep working, keep breathing. One more breath. Nice. Exhale, let it melt. Take a half lift. Folding forward. Root down, rise all the way up. Breathing in. Cactus the arms here. Press the hips forward. Inhale, standing straight. Press through your feet, tone belly. And again, we bow forward. This time we'll step back again to your downward dog, lift your hips, and then invite those knees to track back towards the earth. As they come to rest, get nice and stable through your palms. Let your left leg flow. Keep it folded in half, maybe a little flex of the foot, and then start to circle, big sweeping circles around. Oh, where's your breath? Letting that breath animate the leg, the femur and the pelvis. That's our hip joint, and we are getting things all oiled up. The little fire starts to brew. You just watch it. Stay with the sensations. That's what this practice invites us to do, to be present. And then reverse, go the opposite direction. Staying nice and evenly grounded through your palms and back knee and shin. Hips stay nice and stable. Chin is off the chest. Breath is steady as we gently hold that leg up back behind you. Thigh bone parallel. Take a breath and then sweep the left foot to the outer edge of the mat toward the pinky side of the left hand. Adjust your body as needed. You can walk the toes forward. Let the hips descend. Lengthen through that back leg. And then bring in a little motion with breath. Kind of wiggle things. Rock it back and forth. Lean with it, rock with it, with breath. You got it. Perfect. And then we'll gently come back through center. So level off your hips. Invite your left hand to stay right there for a moment. We want to get into this little hugging in. So I want you to think of drawing your left thigh bone in towards your left tricep. So hug them in toward each other. Notice that activation of your left hip flexor as you again release through your hips, descending towards the earth, softening through shoulders. The energies of the breath flooding the body. I'm going to think about this river of energy moving through. As that energy flows, the body unfolds, one breath at a time. Let's shift here into our goddess. Go ahead and wiggle the toes towards the top of the mat, or towards the center of the mat, rather, so that left foot comes in. Curl the back toes, lift it up, and we'll spin it open to our goddess. So again, heels draw in, toes are turned out, tailbone sinks. Maybe this time you get a little bit deeper. And again, you can keep those hands resting at the hips, so you can take those arms alongside, soften your shoulders, take a breath in. And then as you exhale, let the current of the breath begin to move the hips in any way that feels good. Let this be free flowing, creative. So our hips are also associated with our creative energy, right? Creative nature. So what are you generating here? Let that move, my friends. Take it a little faster. You can lower it down, lift it up. Now I say, when we move our hips, something happens. We just maybe start to smile. There's always a little joy that trickles in. So joyful presence, be with that. And go ahead and reverse. Take it the opposite direction. Take it small, take it slow. And yes, things will snap, crackle, and pop. A little percussion, it's all right. And then we'll bring it back through center. Take the arms overhead. We'll cactus the arms. Again, stretch it up. Cactus those arms. One more, breathing in. Cactus the arms, and then cartwheel those hands down to frame your front toes, spin your back heel, loop your shoulders, tone your belly. We're gonna step our back foot forward, so right foot comes forward. Keep the ball of the foot, heel lifted. Begin to lift up, arms sweep overhead. As you exhale, hands are gonna come down through the heart. You find a drishti as you float your right foot, knee comes in line with the hip. Tone through your center, heavy tailbone as you sweep your right ankle over your left thigh, gently flexing the foot as the hips sink back and the left knee bends. Soft shoulder, steady gaze. Deep inhale. Deep breath out. That's it, friends. Maybe the arms are overhead. You can explore here. Beautiful. Last breath. And then slowly press down to stand up. We'll release. Take that cactus arms once again, hips forward. Stand straight, sweeping the arms, and fold. Hands to the earth, step back into downward facing dog. And let your right leg lift to the sky, and we'll bring it through to a pigeon. So we can let that right knee come forward towards the right wrist or in between the hands. Lengthen your back leg. Square off your hips, lift your chest. Choosing to stay right here, or maybe let your chest melt. Notice the sensations, where the energy's flowing. With those hips full and alive with energy and prana. And we'll take our time to exit. Hands come back. We'll lift our right leg, freeing it up. And if there's any little micro movement, if you want to lift the knee, circle around, see what feels good. But we'll settle back into downward dog and we'll take the second side. So invite your left leg to lift and we'll sweep it through. Knee towards the wrist, or that space in between the hands. Right leg directly behind the right hip as we begin to release down. Gently drawing your left outer hip back. Lift through your sternum. Exhale again, maybe you bow. Feel the release. Gradually allowing your body to melt into this shape. Being with the sensations as they evolve. And then taking your time to walk the hands back once again. Flip the back toes. We'll let that right leg guide the hips towards the sky to free your left leg. And again, if there's any micro movement here that feels appropriate for your body, circling, wiggling, shaking. Take a breath in, friends, as you settle into stillness as that left foot finds the earth. And then let's invite our knees to come down. As the knees come down, let your hands walk back towards your hips as you lift your chest. Give your shoulders a little roll. Maybe just pause here for a moment and notice the sensations, the energy flowing in, without, and all around. And let's take a few deep breaths here to close out. Take an inhale through your nose and a deep breath out through your mouth. Again, deep breath in through your nose, flooding your body with this fresh breath, and then exhale again, releasing. Take a moment to pause and find gratitude for this practice, for these hips that are happy and free. And if you'd like to rest in a savasana, you can, but take time to nourish yourself in any way that you need to. Thank you again for joining. Hope those hips are feeling happy and free. I'm Pilin Anice, and all my information is below. This is the Trainer of the Month Club with Well+Good. Please subscribe and follow along for more classes just like this one. Until next time, friends, peace.